Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. When people wax nostalgic about the golden age of country music, they inevitably get around to talking about Loretta Lynn, the self-described coal miner's daughter from Butcher Holler, Kentucky, who in her roughly 7 decades of songwriting and singing racked up 16 #1 hits including Don't Come Home a Drinking with Loving, On Your Mind, Fist City and Feelings, helping change country music from a male-dominated genre to one that welcomes and embraces women's voices. Her songs have spoken to people from all walks of life, probably because every song she's written has come in large part from her own experience. Women in particular see in Lane as a kindred spirit, a refreshingly candid ally in a world that often seems to favor me, especially those of the hard-drinking, hard-living variety. And she has found a loyal audience in both rural and urban America, where people were obviously itching for her unique take on hardship and triumph. You might think that fame, not to mention the money and adoration that came with it, would have brought Loretta Lynn happiness. But what many casual country fans don't know is that Loretta Lynn's life was far from perfect. In fact, it has been marred by loneliness and tragedy and loss, and not one to waste time feeling sorry for herself. She has worked hard to put all that heartache right back into her art. Growing up, Loretta Lynn worshipped her tender coal miner's father, Ted Webb. Webb loved his children unconditionally. Incidentally, Loretta's sister Crystal Gale is also a country music legend, and Loretta's confidence in her affection and love helped her through many a difficult time. In Coal Miner's Daughter, she writes, "I feel like Daddy's been the most important person in my life. I had almost 14 years of Daddy giving me love and security the way a daddy should. Daddy is the main reason I always had respect for myself when times go tough between me and Doolittle. I always knew my daddy loved me." Loretta Lynn's husband Oliver Money Doolittle Lane made 2 promises to Ted when he married Loretta against her father's wishes. First, he said he would never physically harm her. Second, he promised not to take her away from her family. He quickly broke both promises. On their wedding night, he beat Loretta for jokingly calling him a whore, and then he dragged her all the way to Washington State to work in a lodging camp. Loretta Lynn was in Washington when Ted Webb died of a stroke at 51. The loss was almost impossible to bear. Loretta was overwhelmed with guilt and grief. Her Christian faith, though, helped her survive that loss, and it would get her through many more losses in the years to come. Loretta Lynn lived through almost unimaginable loss. In 1963, she said goodbye to her friend and mentor, Patsy Cline, who died in a plane crash. Her favorite child, Jack Benny, died in 1984, having struck his head on a rock while attempting to cross a river on his horse. In 1996, Loretta Lynn's husband, Money, died of congestive heart failure after a 4-year battle with the disease and veritable lifetime of causing trouble. In 2013, her daughter, Betty Sue, succumbed to emphysema. 3 years later, Jack Benny's oldest son, Jeffrey, died unexpectedly on the family ranch in Tennessee, and that not even counting the deaths of her frequent collaborator, Conway Twitty, at age 59, and her beloved manager Owen Bradley, who passed away in 1998 of a respiratory ailment. Some might say that Lane's career as a country music artist was aided by these tragic losses, given the country genre's reputation for songs about crying in one's beer over cheating spouses and death parents and missed opportunities. And it's true that Loretta Lynn's songs often sprung directly from her own life and experiences, but Loretta often told her daughter that if she could have picked between being a famous musician, always away from home when tragedy hit, and being a nobody who had more time with her family and friends, even if that mean confronting loss fronthand, she would have certainly picked her love letter to contraception and the freedom it gives the women who take it also caused a stir in the country music community. So did Rated X, her exploration of divorce, and Don't Come Home a Drinking with Loving, On Your Mind, her repudiation of drunk sex, Once on the Way, arguably her most unapologetically feminist song to date, and Wings Upon Your Horns, a look at losing one's virginity through the lens of Christianity. Loretta Lynn has always written songs about real life and real problems and authentic situations, and that has made a number of people uncomfortable. Sometimes, she told the Wall Street Journal, "I write songs in a way where they can't play them." As if Loretta Lynn did not have enough to manage with her husband drinking away some of her profits and cheating on her with at least 3 women, including her children's bus driver, her own powerful and often steamy duets with fellow country music legend Conway Twitty led some fans to blame her for the backup of Twitty's first marriage. Loretta Lynn and Conway Twitty, good friends and frequent collaborators, put out much to do's hypocritical consternation. The #1 hit After the Fire is Gone in 1971 and the album Lead Me On in 1972. The passion in the songs Lynn and Twitty made together had a number of people not just suspecting that their enthusiasm for each other could not possibly be limited to the studio. Lynn always insisted that their relationship was purely platonic, though, and that Do loved Twitty as much as she did. Also, Tweety remarried Temple Mickey Medley, the wife he divorced in 1970 and remained married to her until 1984. So Lane's rumored stint as the other woman was short-lived. Over the course of her long life, Loretta Lynn has fought many battles. Her most recent one has been with the tabloids, whose stable of sleazy writers keep insisting she is either dead, dying, or being thrown in a home by her uncaring family. In response to one such rumor, Lane wrote on her Facebook page that she would had enough of it. Well, through the years, they have said I'm broke, homeless, cheating, drinking, gone crazy, terminally ill, and even dead. Poor things can't ever get it right. I am about an inch from taking M to Fist City. To be absolutely clear, Loretta Lynn will still making music. In 2004, she collaborated with Detroit folk rocker Jack White to put out the acclaimed When Lear Rose. In 2016, she got fellow miraculously undead country star Willie Nelson to collaborate with her on the song of her new album. Sadly, as per The Guardian, Lane passed away on October 4, 2022 at 90 years of age. Loretta Lane's childhood in the hollers of rural Kentucky gives new meaning to hard scrabble. Her family was so poor, she often did not have traditional clothes to wear. Instead, her mother fashioned skirts for her out of old floor socks, adding to the difficulty of Loretta Lane's impoverished upbringing. When she was 11 months old, she contracted a severe ear infection that required doctors to drill 2 holes in her skull to clean out the affected area. The family could not afford to keep Loretta in the hospital overnight, so every day her father, Clara, would walk the 10 miles to the Golden Rule Hospital, its real name is Gold Rule Hospital, in Paintsville, Kentucky, for her daughter's treatment. Lane still bears the scars of those long ago holes, and that is why she's always worn her hair long. The illness also explains why she did not walk until she was 4. Perhaps that old glitch is true. What does not kill you could turn you into one of the biggest country stars of your generation. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and comment.